everybody. So we are the Hallmarkies podcast, and I'm Rachel, and we are here to finally talk about the countdown to Valentine's Day movies, and Amber is here with me.
Hi, everybody.
Did you have a good Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I did. Kept the tradition alive where, watch Pride and Prejudice, eat Chinese food.
Nice.
I mean, really, you can't beat it.
No, I agree. That sounds really fun. My tradition of always doing my own Valentine, so that was a lot of fun. And
how cute was our Valentine that Rachel designed? Amazing.
It was a lot of fun. We'll have to put that up here. But if you guys missed it on the Instagram, but we had a lot of fun doing that. And so I hope you all had great Valentines, and I hope you had fun watching these movies. We're going to talk about 4 movies, and they had 3 that were officially Countdown to Valentine's Day, but then they had another that was just kind of floating out there, and so we're going to talk about it in the Wedding March 3. So it should be pretty fun. About the very first one that aired, and this is My Secret Valentine.
Okay.
So this movie starred Andrew Walker and Lacey Chabert, 2 definite Hall stars.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your overall thoughts about this movie?
I mean, so up front, I was, even when they were Instagramming pictures of this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be one of the most amazing Hallmark movies of all time. It has Andrew Walker, it has Lacey Chabert. It's going to be so great. And spoiler alert, it was not. I know there's going to be a lot of people who super disagree with me, and maybe, in its defense, although I don't think so, maybe I just had too high of expectations. But I was over it.
I don't think that, I had high expectations, but I don't think that that's the reason why it wasn't good. I think it was genuinely not a good movie, and it was very frustrating. And I was the one live tweeting this, which may have been part of the reason why it was cursed, because I seem to be cursed with live tweeting the bad movies. Just thought I would sort of read real quick some of my tweets. You could see sort of the chain of sort of disappointment and frustration.
Yeah, as it goes. But first, I just have to do some inside baseball. We negotiate who's going to tweet what, because there's some that we're super excited for and some that we're not super excited for. And when it's ones that we're super excited for, I fight tooth and nail to get them. Yeah. And then when Rachel gets them, they always end up being disappointing. So you guys, here's the thing. If Rachel is tweeting, watch out. It's going to be bad. And if I'm tweeting, it's going to surprise you how great it is.
Right. It's true. It really is. I had to do the Mr. Christmas one. I had to do Engaging Father Christmas, which was like...
Sorry. I just think it's the best that we refuse to use its stupid name.
It was like a spiral into insanity, Engaging Father Christmas for me. And I had to do Winter's Dream, which I hated. Yeah, it's just been a rough ride. But so I just thought it was kind of funny. So I started out, I'm like, she really is being pretty judgy. Tone it down a bit. So I'm like a little critical, but not too bad. Then my next tweet is, it's something called customer service. Maybe they don't have that where you're from. He's literally been spending his entire week servicing a customer.
It's okay.
Yeah, and then I have, she's criticizing him for his big city ways, but she is also from the big city, having left the vineyard. And then I have Chloe's verging on unlikable. And then I have no idea why Seth would even be interested in Chloe with how she's treating him. And then it finally gets down to, I hate Chloe.
It's so true. I mean, this movie, I don't know what it was, but Chloe was not a likable character.
No.
All of her choices, all of her responses were just selfish and irritating and immature.
Yeah.
So anytime she did anything, I was like super irritated. I mean, frankly, even just the premise of her giving the person who's renting her house to-dos is actually kind of rude.
Yeah.
Could you imagine going to hotels and being like, while you're here, please fix the hot water because there is none. Good luck. Like, what? That's kind of funny.
It was really weird.
And in the moment, I didn't quite like it. Didn't, but after the fact, I was like, even that is weird and selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy being like, oh, I saw this was broken, so I fixed it for you. She should be like, thank you so much. The end. Not, here's this toolbox I bought. Go for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, and I think it was made even more of a contrast because Andrew Walker's character Seth was so great. Like, he was amazing. He like is putting on foreign accents for her and becoming a Texan, to help her get the sale and all this stuff. And he does all of this nice stuff where he's like the perfect man. I mean, he's already handsome, of course. Like, he was so nice the whole time. And I just about lost it when she, after him helping her the whole day, she comes home and writes on the thing, like, how do I deal with this big jerk at work? And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're insane.
Okay. Also, let's talk about how everyone's like, you'll be so good at running the winery. And I'm like, she couldn't even close a sale. He had to do that for her.
Yeah, right.
And so, I mean, I guess if we assume that he stays there forever and they get married and he's the one who goes out and sells their wine, maybe their wine won't fail.
Yeah.
But I don't have a lot of faith because she's too selfish and he's too wonderful for this to last.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, and she's like a complete idiot for not realizing that it is him staying in this house. Like, the whole concept was such a stretch. I mean, it's one thing for people to be like pen pals or whatever, but like to not realize who's staying in your house, like, come on, give me a break.
That just kind of seems like terrible landlordship, frankly.
Ridiculous. And my dad, actually ran vacation rentals for a long time, so it's ridiculous, completely ridiculous. And what did he like? Why was he so evil? Like, what was like? He was offering to help them in every way, and it's not like she went to her dad and was like, "Here's my plan. Here's the things that we could do that will, make things better." And I mean, she's supposed to be considering this offer from her boss at work.
Yeah, she's I don't feel like it's going to be productive to berate her character. And I don't feel like it was Lacey Chabert's fault, because I do think Lacey Chabert is quite talented and handles it. And it's not her fault that the past several characters that she's had to play have been selfish weirdos. Like, it's not her fault.
Yeah.
It's just what Hallmark's been casting her as, and I want to be like, yo.
So weird.
Yo, Bill Abbott, listen. Give Lacey Chabert a nice person.
Yes.
So hopefully when she goes to Africa, she gets to play a nice person.
Yeah, I hope so, because she's so sweet. Like, what is wrong? Like, it's so weird. And it was just frustrating because it really did have a lot of potential, but it just, she was just, and it was just very frustrating. And so I want to talk for a second about You've Got Mail.
Okay. Rachel, y'all, spoiler alert. For the next couple minutes, you're going to hear about Rachel's heart.
Yes.
And that is, her heart is actually a You've Got Mail DVD. So just
okay, so I love You've Got Mail. If you listen to our podcast with Greg, which you should, it was really fun. I talked about that as one of my favorite romantic movies of all time, and it's written by Nora Ephron, who's my favorite writer. And she, outside maybe Jane Austen, she's amazing, and I just love that movie. I think it has so much to say about how we identify ourselves with our jobs, and I just love the chemistry. There's a million things I could go on, like you say, for many, many minutes. But the thing is this movie tried to be You've Got Mail many times, and it failed. And I felt like saying to Hallmark, you don't understand what makes You've Got Mail good. Because You've Got Mail, it takes place over the course of over a year, first of all, and they actually give reason for conflict, right? Mm-hmm. So they had the scene in this movie where they're at the diner and she's waiting for, handyman to show up, and Andrew Walker's character shows up. It's obviously trying to mimic the scene from You've Got Mail in the diner, in the cafe or whatever. But the thing is that Joe had actually done rude things. He was actually, there was a reason why she was being a jerk to him, because he was actually a jerk. And so, it makes sense and is kind of funny, and the actors can pull it off, and it works. And so, but with this, he hadn't done anything, right?
I mean, yeah, and frankly, also, the date where Handyman didn't show up, ended up just being a cute date with Seth. Like, she didn't send him away like, you're the worst, go away, garbage face. She was like, we're secretly in love.
She was just kind of rude, though. I was just like, ugh, it made me so annoyed. And they only have a couple messages on the chalkboards, and one of them's a to-do list, like you said. Whereas in You've Got Mail, this is a multi-month correspondence that is, that they share their souls and who they are and whatever. And so it was so hollow at the end, because at the end of You've Got Mail, she says, I really wanted it to be you. But this is only after she had lost the store and had spent many months kind of rebuilding her life, and he had been tweaking on her, special assignment kind of thing and trying to win her back. So all of this stuff had happened, and so it's more believable when she says, I wanted it to be you. When she says, I was secretly hoping it was you all along, it is, in this movie, it was completely unbelievable. I wrote on Twitter, I was like, could have fooled me.
Literally less than 30 seconds before that, she was like, he's scum, and I just wish he would fall into a vat of alcohol and die. She's the worst. The only reason why she even likes him is because he ripped up the contract to buy her place.
Yeah.
And it's just absurd, first of all, because she's the worst.
Right.
And then she's like, oh, it's him. And then he's like, hey, I'm me. I always wished it was you. Baloney.
Yeah, it was
baloney.
Garbage. And it just made me so irritated, because I'm just like, it's something that I love, and you're trying to imitate it, but you're doing it badly. It's like one of these horrible Disney remakes that it's very frustrating to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't feel like we're going to get any more productive talking about this.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say that I gave this 1.8 crowns.
I think that's fair.
And literally all of those are Andrew Walker's.
Yeah.
He earned all of them by himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was tempted to give it 2 just for him. Just because he was pulling out accents, he was trying, he was excited. But yeah, I agree. 1.5 for me. And in my ranking, I've seen 14 Hallmark movies so far in 2018, new Hallmark movies, and I have it at number 13. So, yeah, because in Winter's Dream, I didn't even like Dean Cain. I didn't even have that. So at least this has Andrew Walker that I liked.
Yeah, which kind of leads me to believe that, is it possible for an Andrew Walker movie to get less than a 1.5? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. Probably not. You're right. And I think I gave Winter's Dream two crowns, but I would rather, if I don't know, man, that's tough. Which one would I rather watch? I really hated both. But anyway, so let's keep going. Let's be more positive here. And let us know. I know a lot of people love this movie. If you love it, defend it in the comments or on Twitter. Let us know why we're wrong. We love to hear from you. So next we have a very different on the spectrum, at least for me. We have Very, Very Valentine. And it's so funny because for my Secret Valentine, I have 30 lines of notes. And for this, I have 7 because I just was like, it was so great.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of funny how that is that way. But this movie, it's about this florist named Helen, played by Danica McKellar, and she meets this mystery man, played by Damon Runyon, at this masquerade ball where she is attending with her friend, her best friend from all these years, named Henry, who's played by Cameron Matheson. And this movie was such a delight. I just really enjoyed it. Of course, you were live tweeting it, of course. But Danica McKellar, she knows how to pick scripts.
Yeah. This script is really great. It's written by Marcy Holland, who also was, co-wrote or worked on the Cooking with Love script as well.
Okay.
So it was a Marcy Holland weekend for me. But yeah, it was so good.
It really was. And I mean, I'm trying to think of, I guess I wasn't that high on Campfire Kiss, but it wasn't terrible. It was fine. I just didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I can't think of one that I really hated with her in it. She just knows how to pick pretty good scripts, I think.
With Danica, yeah.
She's good.
And she pulls it off really well. She's incredible.
My favorite thing about Danica McKellar is that she, like, when she gets to that point where she's just about to well up and get emotional, and she's so good at that. I think I love that in Coming Home for Christmas. I love that in just a lot of her in Wedding Bells. I love that at the end of that movie, and she's getting all tearing up and everything. It's so good. So I think that she just is so good with that kind of emotion.
Yeah, it's definitely her bread and butter. And yeah, so I don't even know what to say about this movie. As I was watching it, I was just so excited. Suddenly it's Cinderella, and then it just kind of morphs into all of these different things. It's sort of a Cyrano de Bergerac thing, and it just kept being like a clever take on all of these classic tropes, kind of all mushed together and done very well.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason is because all of the characters were well defined. You knew like what their motivations were, what they were trying to do, and all of the actors really understood their characters, because I was never like, well, why is this person doing this?
Yeah, they were all super likable. They all had really great chemistry together. I really liked Damon Runyon. Like, sometimes the other guy can be a little much, but he was so charming and great. And
and also awful, but like in such a great way.
Yeah.
In such an actual believable bad guy kind of way.
Yeah. He wasn't like a mustachioed villain kind of.
Yeah, he wasn't a mustache. That's what I was going to say, actually. A mustache twirling villain. He's actually the kind of a jerk that I would fall in love with in real life and then find out he's a terrible jerk.
Yeah, but you could totally see why, because sometimes in these, you're just like, what is going on? Like, this guy is such a tool. But like, you could totally see why she was interested in him and attracted to him and everything. It totally made sense.
Yeah, because even though he was a total jerk, he was a super charming pants.
Oh, yeah. So much. And this movie looked so great. They did such a great job. Like, the masquerade. Well, I really liked, I know she said it was a pain in the neck, but her mask was really beautiful.
Yeah.
What did you think of her dress? Did you like the white dress with black flowers?
I did, except for I couldn't stop thinking, well, I mean, that's just a wedding dress with black flowers sewn on. I mean, and it was beautiful, but I was a little bit like, you just took a wedding dress and sewed black flowers onto it. You can't trick me. But I didn't mind them trying to trick me because it looked great.
Yeah, my friend, who I actually watched this with a friend, so that's landmark day. But anyway, my friend didn't like the dress because she just thought the black flowers weren't pretty. She would have rather had a different color. I guess.
It was a black and white ball.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I forgot that. But anyway, she didn't like the dress. She didn't like it. I thought it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot better than the Coming Home for Christmas dress. The blue dress.
You know how I felt about that.
I think it was really pretty.
Blue's not a Christmas color. How about you save some stuff for Hanukkah?
But I thought the ball looked so pretty. It was very magical. Kind of reminded me almost of like Ever After or the most recent Cinderella times. They just did a good job making everything look magical, and and whatever. And I guess you were bothered by some of the fake flowers. I didn't even notice, to be honest.
I wasn't bothered by the fake flowers per se, because the arrangements they did were pretty nice.
Uh-huh.
But also, like, if you were doing a movie where she's a florist and he's like a botanist expert, come on, get real flowers. I mean, and I understand that they were fake flowers because they were making a flower that she created and it had like a heart shape in it.
Uh-huh.
I understand on those, but there were some of the other ones that were fake, but there were some real ones thrown in there. So, meh, it wasn't a huge distraction for me. They did a pretty decent job too with the fake flowers.
I wouldn't have noticed if you hadn't told me. So I guess I don't have my fake flower radar on.
Yeah, but, Rachel is incapable of realizing when they are covering up someone being pregnant or yes. where there are fake floral arrangements.
It's true. It really is. And so anyway, yeah, we get this great ending. Oh my gosh, I love the ending so much because Henry is going to go to Phoenix. He's going to move. And that's when, of course, she realizes that, oh no, I really actually like, the best friend's actually the right one. Like you're saying, using a trope, but doing it really well. And we get the airport call in this case. And I liked it what you said about how the chases to the airports have gotten a little less exciting since TSA.
I mean, right? Let's talk, Love Actually, they run to the airport and they find that girl and I mean, they sneak through security, blah, 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 blah. But spoiler alert for Love Actually. But it's just less, it's less suspenseful when it's just hey, hey, Rachel, are you going to answer? And, it's not. Yeah. It's not suspenseful. Right. It's fine, though, as a device, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah. And so, they have the ending where she has one more thing to deliver, and she goes to the botanical gardens, and there he is, and it's very, very great.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm all for commitment. So it was great. I honestly teared up a little bit because it was so sweet and beautiful. I mean, team this movie. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I mean, I really didn't have any real criticisms with it. I don't know. I thought it was just about as good as it gets for Hallmark movies. Give it.
I am actually going to give it 4.5 crowns.
Okay, I'll agree with you. I'll give it 4.5. We're still early, so it's hard to give the perfect 5.
Well, this is my new philosophy, is I will watch the movie if I think it's super good, and possibly in 5 territory. I will then watch 9 Lives of Christmas, and then watch that movie again.
Yeah.
And if it's not as good or better than 9 Lives of Christmas, it doesn't get a 5.
I think I might like this better than the
Rachel
Christmas.
Rachel,
but I give them, I think, about the same. I think I like them both about the same.
Well, anyway, you gave it a 4.5. Deal with it.
Yeah, but that's actually probably a good way to go about it. Take your favorite and then compare it. Yeah, that's probably, maybe I'll watch Trading Christmas or something like that and compare it. My ranking, I have it at number 1.
Yeah, you do.
I have it at number 1. I have it's just before One Winter Weekend is number 2. So there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so let's talk about the Cooking with Love. This movie reminded me a lot of Recipe for Love, which is one of my favorite. It's definitely one of the sexiest Hallmark movies. Mm-hmm. There's a scene where they're making bread, which is probably as close to the pottery wheel scene in Ghost as we're ever going to get in a Hallmark movie. It's pretty sexy, and they have great chemistry, and it's one I really, really like.
Yeah.
So I was kind of comparing it a little bit to that because they're both about a television producer that has to deal with this chef who's this know-it-all kind of whatever chef. So there's a lot of similarities. She stars Ali Liebert, and she's been in a number of different ones, including A Gift to Remember at Christmas, which we liked, and on Chesapeake Shores. Mm-hmm.
And
And
I love her.
yeah,
She's my fave. She's one of my faves.
yeah, she's just the best. She's so sweet. And she plays this producer of this television show, this children's television cooking show. And you just have to sort of set reality aside, because obviously in real life they would like film all of this and then air it, but in this movie they're like airing it live.
Unless it's a show where people vote. I mean, I don't know the elimination
Yeah, that's
structure
true,
of
like
this
American
reality
Idol.
show, but it could be, yeah, it could be an American Idol sort of thing where the audience votes every week for who yada yada yada.
That's
So,
true. There you go. I guess that's a loophole. You can get around it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares? And so they end up having to hire last minute this chef played by Brett Dalton. And as far as I could see, I think this is his Hallmark debut.
yes, this is his Hallmark debut.
So what did you think of him and their chemistry?
I really liked him. I hope he does more. I know him from Marvel's Agents of Shield.
Oh, okay.
And he's quite different, but kind of not. But he's just super handsome. But I did think that their chemistry was pretty good. And I think he did a great job when he was acting with the kids. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the way somebody's worthwhile to have back on Hallmark, as if they're good with kids. So yeah, I thought they were good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I didn't think they had like great chemistry together, but it wasn't horrible either. So I don't know. It was fine, I guess. And he's the tough chef, but I do agree 100% that he was so cute with the kids.
Yeah.
And all the stuff with the kids was really good. It worked really well. So Kimberly Sustad is in this. She seemed like she was wasted in this movie to me.
Yeah, way underutilized Kimberly Sustad. However you say her last name, as everyone knows, she is my absolute favorite Hallmark lady.
Yeah.
She just is.
Yeah.
She's the funniest.
Yeah.
Even in the background of this, she'd make like a face and it would be amazing. So she's the best and should be in every Hallmark movie that they will let her, that she wants. She should be in every Hallmark movie she wants to be in, because she's so talented.
Frustrating when like she's way underused.
Yeah, she was super underutilized. And the scenes where it was her and Allie Liebert together, magic.
Yeah.
They were the best scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not supposed to have the best scenes with the friend and the main girl. Like,
yeah. Well, and for me, this movie started a little slow, but then like I felt like once he was like helping her cook, and once I felt like it kind of picked up for me.
Yeah, I didn't actually feel any sort of lagging or anything with it, so I felt completely fine with it.
Okay.
And I loved the bad guy, the Jeremy Preston Vanderslice guy. Such an evil villain. So slightly over the top. And I was there for it. I appreciated it. Because even though he was ridiculous and over the top, it was like all super grounded. And he was just overly ambitious. And he was willing to cut throats and get to the top. So it felt believable to me.
It wasn't my favorite, but yeah, I just thought the cute chemistry when they were cooking and the cute scenes with them and the kids and stuff was what made this movie really work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I mean, I'd give this somewhere around 3.5 crowns.
Interesting. I ended up giving this 3.9 crowns.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, cool. Good. All right, one last one. So we have the Wedding March 3. March 3, Here Comes the Bride. And so when we first started, if you listen to our summer nights, one of our very first podcasts, I mentioned when talking about Summer in the Vineyard, I was like, yeah, I watched this because I was talking about how I didn't like Hallmark sequels. And I was like, I watched this one with Jack Wagner and it was so boring and I didn't like it and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't remember the name. I wasn't as prepared then as I am now. And and that's the one I was talking about, was Wedding March 2. And so it was one of my least favorite of last year. And I do think that this movie is slightly better than Wedding March 2, because Wedding March 2, first of all, their relationship, we'll talk about this in Wedding March 3, but their relationship makes no sense to me. Like, they're like living together, but like they're working. And in the second one, like they weren't even dating. She moves all the way up there to be together, but then immediately he's like, oh, we don't want to date. That's too much. That's too fast. So they like end up becoming just like working together. And it was just weird. It was so strange. It's like, why would you move up there if you're not like dating this person? It was very weird. Mm-hmm. And then they had this, you know how I don't like insufferable, annoying brides? In the second one, they had this bride who was the worst, and not in a funny way, at least to me. I thought she was awful. And so that made it just like, it was very bad. And so in this one, you have Olivia and Mick, and their weird relationship is still continuing on. And I don't know, like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm 37. I feel like once you're like 45 plus and you meet somebody that you like, just get married. Just give it a shot. You know, like you're past the childbearing ages, you know, like just get married, try it out. I don't know. Like the idea of like just stretching this out for it, because like you're a 20-year-old insecure, kind of don't know what you want in life. Like you're 40, like you're in your 40s, like you know what you want. Like, you know who you are. Like if you found somebody you're compatible with, I don't know, maybe that's radical, but that's just kind of what I think.
No, I agree. I'm like, how about this is okay. I'm going to get back on my soapbox, which I was on for the last time. Sequels can work if the relationships progress within the sequels. So like in the first one, they can start dating. In the second one, at the end, they can get engaged. In the end of the third one, they can get married. In the end of the fourth one, they can have a kid.
Yeah.
Things like that. If you just... Otherwise, why do I care about their relationship? Yeah. Because based on the track record from the sequel, where nothing improved, I have to assume they'll never get married.
Yeah. Well, and it was so close. I thought at the end of this one, I'm like, why aren't you asking her to, like... I was so glad that we'll talk about Gabrielle Miller, but when she finally gives him the speech of like, you're not somebody to give advice here, buddy, like in relationships and making commitment. Like, and I put on there, and I was like on the live tweet, because of course I live tweeted this, and I was like, yeah, she's speaking for the audience right now, because all of us are like, who are you to tell anybody who to marry or how to make commitments or whatever? Because like, I don't know, it's just so weird to me. And I guess we're supposed to believe that they're like not intimate, and we're supposed to just believe that they're just like working together but kind of dating. And like even at the beginning of this one, they were getting pretty, like the kissing was pretty strong for Hallmark, I would say. And I don't know, I was just like, I don't understand this dynamic. I don't get it.
I don't even believe that they have hashtag Hallmark chastity. I think they are living in sin. And also, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Mick is a child, and he still thinks that he's 20 years old, and that's why they're not committing, because he doesn't know who he is, because he's ridiculous.
But he thinks he
and I don't care. All you Jack
life.
Wagner fans, come at me and fight me about this. I will defend my position.
Yeah, I mean, but he thinks he can tell everyone else how to live their life. You're just
like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just took not AP, because that's high school. I just took Psych 101.
Yeah.
So I absolutely know everything.
Right.
That's why me and my band are going to be super successful.
So, yeah, you have this other plot of his daughter and her boyfriend, and boyfriend Wyatt, and I was totally on Team Wyatt. Like, this is a weird idea that she has. Like, why doesn't, if she wants to become a chef, like, go to culinary school like a normal human being? Or like, wherever he's going to school, I'm sure there's other places that she can like apprentice in, and like, you know, I'll wash dishes, whatever. Like, you know, and you work, if you want to go that way and work your way up the restaurant chain. But like expecting him to like give up everything so that she can live her dream in this super particular, super precise way, like she wasn't willing to like explore any other, like it had to be in this place, in this situation. And the idea that she would just like magically know how to cook all of these foods for a crowd and be able to cater events like that, like maybe she is a culinary genius, I don't know, but it seemed a little ridiculous to me. And so I was totally on his side. I'm like, you are being really inflexible and really lame.
Yeah, I am 100% team Wyatt. And also when he was like, okay, you're going to go leave and do this thing, I'm going to assume we're going to break up, so let's just break up now.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, yeah, agreed.
Right.
But first of all, I mean, I guess this is Hallmark, and who are we to tell someone they can't be a chef? Because as we know, there are so many chefs in the world that are necessary.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be a market for her to be a chef.
But why does she have to do it there? Like they already have the guy they already have a chef. Do they need two chefs?
And they're going to fire him for her.
I guess. It's so weird. Anyway, and so that was lame. I didn't like that. The saving grace, the reason why this one is better than the second was Gabrielle Miller was good.
She's amazing.
She's so great. Everyone I know knows I love Trading Christmas. She's in Trading Christmas. And I tweeted out, I'm like, Trading Christmas alum, woohoo! And she actually responded. It was really cool. And I just love her. She's so warm. She's so great. Her plot line was a little bit fun, I think.
Yeah. And I was happy that Peter Benson ended up with his girl for once, instead of being just like the wrong guy. And
Did you call it that he was like buying her a dress, or did you think he was as bad?
Well, Hallmark people don't really cheat on other people, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw the dress thing coming, but
yeah,
I was like, once they went down the path of thinking he was cheating, I was like, oh, so it's not that?
Yeah. It's so funny to me how like I wrote on the Twitter, I'm like, this guy's talking on a cell phone in the car. That usually means he's a jerk.
Yeah, but like if it was just like I really have a ton of business meetings, then absolutely they were not going to end up together. But once they were like, I think he's cheating on me, I was like, oh, so he's not cheating on you. Yeah. Gotcha.
Good call. Yeah, that's true.
But I was honestly, Mick just drives me insane. Yeah. Him being such a whiny baby about this guy leaving 20 years ago. When they were doing a gig, when Mick plays the keyboards. That's literally all he does this whole movie is play the piano. Yeah. So, like, they were like, oh, the band couldn't do anything because we didn't have a keyboardist. First of all, you play the keyboard. Second of all, he's allowed to live his own life. And your band was clearly failing. So why... you're the worst. He's like, and because he did that, I know that he's a terrible human being.
Yeah, I put on Twitter, I was like, yeah, he bailed on, when his college days, he bailed on a thing, so that means he should never marry in life. Like that's pretty rough.
Okay. Not like you bailed on your girl in college, you dweeb.
Yeah, that's true. Because he bailed on like him and Olivia, whatever, had that thing. It was ridiculous. I mean, I was glad that she actually called him out on that and was like, you're being dumb. Like, who are you to give advice?
I wish he had gotten more.
Yeah. Well, and I don't understand Olivia. Like, why doesn't she, like, I don't know. Like, she's not a strong character. And not that every character has to be, like, big and bold and strong or whatever, but, like, she's just kind of there. She doesn't really have any personality. She's not like, I don't know.
Especially in this one, she did nothing.
Yeah. They don't really explain.
I guess they danced cleaning up, but frankly, that's not character development. That's just dancing.
Like, is she fine with this waiting? If I guess they're adults, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But it just seems hard to believe that that's really what she wants, that she doesn't want any commitment. But we never find anything. We never know. We never hear from her. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, this movie, I give it a tiny bit of credit just because I did think it was better than the second one. But I mean, it didn't have anybody that I wanted to like strangle like the second one, that insufferable bride. But yeah. So, how many crowns are you giving this one?
It's super petty, but I gave it 1.81 crowns because I wanted it to be just a little more than My Secret Valentine because I was mad at My Secret Valentine.
You did 1.81.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, very good. I'll give it 2 crowns, and I have it at number 12 in my ranking. But really, I don't know. It's hard because it's
I
just
mean, I won't watch it again unless, no, we do know when they have Wedding March 4 come out, I'll probably have to have a refresher,
But yeah, I have it.
goodness.
I have the Emma Fielding one at 11 because that one was boring to me, and then I have My Secret Valentine at 13. So there you go.
There you have it.
Yeah, but yeah, we got the delightful news that we're getting Wedding March 4. So I don't know who these movies are made for, but obviously
Congratulations.
it's obviously not for either of us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you
Anyway.
guys get why these movies are so great, please feel free to mention that in the comments somewhere so that maybe we can understand. Because frankly, I'm not getting it. To me, the best part was Emily Tennant, and guess what? She's gone.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, Gabrielle Miller was fun in this one. So hopefully, I guess she'll be back for the next one. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, I please let us know. We need to know. So this weekend on Hallmark Channel, we have Royal Hearts, a new movie on Saturday. Cindy Busby and James Brolin, and basically, like her father finds out that they have this property. It turns out it's actually a castle, and they're actually a king. And it looks like it's actually filmed like at an actual castle.
Yeah, which is proud of them.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
What are you thinking about this? Are you excited for it? Not
I
excited?
am actually super excited about it.
Yeah.
Mostly because the guy playing her like love interest is actually British.
Yeah.
So like his accent won't be terribly fake.
Right. Yeah, and it's not an Ovia. I forget what the name is, but I remember it was not an Ovia.
It's an Ia though. It's like Melania.
Yeah.
I know it's not Melania, but it's like
Right,
it.
right, right. Hey, at least it's not an Ovia. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully that'll be fun. Hopefully we'll enjoy it. We have 3 in the next in the next month and a half or so. We have 3 royal movies coming out, so it's pretty exciting.
Yes. Gearing up for the royal wedding.
And I always watch these royal ones, comparing, to me at least, Crown for Christmas is the best one. So I'll get it out and watch it again to see. So yeah, we have that. And then on Sunday is our next episode of When Calls the Heart. On Friday, make sure you catch our recap of the last episode that we're going to have. We have Ruth Hill joining us as a regular contributor on that recap show, I guess. And
it's called When Calls the Hallmarkies.
When Calls the Hallmarkies. Yes. And so make sure that you look out for that on Friday. It's really fun. And so anyway, we have a new episode coming up on Sunday. And then there's also the Meet the Pete's, which I hope you guys got a chance to listen to our little, it was only 16 minutes, but it was fun to recap the premiere. And so I hope you guys enjoyed that. So check that out. And we are next week. It's going to be fun. We're doing a special episode of the podcast where we are going to be reviewing 2 of the premieres that are on Hallmark movies now. Once Upon a Winter's Date, and then The Storyteller. Those are world premieres that are on the subscription service. Hallmark Movies Now. And then each of us are going to pick an additional, so we'll have 4 movies total that we're going to talk about, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, you guys watch it and you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So definitely at least watch The Storyteller and Once Upon a Winter's Date, and we'll be ready to talk about them next week.
It's going to be great.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for listening and for joining us. And Amber, where can people find you?
As always, people can find me. I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. And you can follow me at Smelling LDS Girl on social media and at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube. So check that out. And make sure you're following us at Hallmarkies Pod on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere that's fun. We are on, and we really appreciate you giving us your ratings and everything like that in iTunes and SoundCloud and all of it. We really appreciate it. And thanks so much.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.